Coach, the schedule looks easy.
Yes, yeah, piece of cake. yeah, no question. It's we knew kind of who the teams were going to be playing before they announced. We just didn't know when, and it's going to be a challenging schedule. But as I go back last year, it was another challenging as we started that season as well. The thing about it is you never know what the teams are going to have coming back. Know what their chemistry may be and all those things. And so the approach never changes. Though you're going to take the same approach in the off season and work as hard as you can possibly work, and then get ready one game at a time. Our first game now, the difference this year is the fact you're playing a conference game right off the bat, a couple actually, and against a team we know is going to be really talented. They got a lot of guys, talented players, and they were injured a lot last year, so it'll be a challenging first game. And so you got to be ready to play right off the bat because those games really count right off the start when you look at conference opponents.
Coach, do you like playing conference opponents right off the bat, or does that really matter to you?
It doesn't matter to me, really. I think it's all in how you approach the schedule. All that means is that game really, really means something, to play a team on our side of the conference right off the bat on a Thursday night. So you better be ready to go. It doesn't matter if you're playing Notre Dame or NC State. They're all big. We all know that. But hopefully you'll have a better sense of urgency, heightened awareness as you're leading up to that first game.
Speaking of sense of urgency, last year you were getting ready to start practice, just really kind of hit the ground running. When you look back on that and how much it helped the team, you ever thought about the alternative that you waited longer? What kind of success you all might have had?
Well, we kind of taken that same approach for years, and so that's kind of just been our approach for the all season of how we're doing it. This year, we're pushing it back a little bit. For us, it's about recruiting. So this is the first year where February is a dead period, so we cannot bring recruits on in February. So the reason why we pushed it back this year we start at the end of February, we go through all of March, so we can utilize the month of March to get recruits on campus and to watch us practice. So I think that's probably the biggest thing for us. So it's all in how you do your all season anyway. Everybody's got that certain period of time where they're doing their lifting, they're running, competition drills. Everybody's got their spring ball, then they're recruiting and all that. But I think the way we do it, we got a good formula we think successful for us, and this spring will be no different.
How much do you think you'll be able to install this spring?
It'll be obviously better for us this spring. That last year you're just probably starting from scratch. This year we're able to build off. We just got finished playing not too long ago, so we're able to build right off of that, the things that we were doing at that point in time. You still really scale it back and focus on fundamentals, really base offense, defense, kicking game. But I think this spring we'll be able to enhance that. Our second half, as you look at the last probably 7 or 8 practices, we'll be able to put a few more things in that I think will help our team as you start thinking about the teams we have to play next fall, and trying to introduce more formations, more things that we'll see in the fall that I think will help our team overall. And particularly, as you face your offense and defense every day of practice to try to help each other, to help you as you head into the fall camp of August.
You mentioned recruiting. You got a bunch of kids on campus today. How have things transitioned or changed for you guys since you first got here?
Yeah.
Trying to get into the doors of some of these kids.
Yeah.
Now after this season?
Well, a year ago today, it's way different. As you think back last year, we only signed 4 in December. Last year, we signed 25 this year in December. So we're essentially full. We have just a few more left for this year. So we're in a great shape as far as that goes. But then, as you look back last year, we had 21 guys committed before we played our first game last year off a team that didn't win a conference game. So we're in a much better place now, having won 8 games, won a big bowl game for us, 5 wins in ACC. So, the guys we got coming on campus now, we're not selling a dream. We're not selling this is what's going to happen. We're selling here's what happened. Here's what we were able to do this year. You guys come in and help us build off of that. So we're in a much better place now. I feel like the quality of the student athlete that we should be able to get in on this year is going to be a higher talent, character, all the things that we're looking for. So I think we're in a much better place, and we're excited. Over 50 guys here today that are 2021, 2022 guys, and their families, and so now it's just easier to sell it, because it's right there. We get to show it and see it, and it's tangible, and it's not something that we're saying is going to happen because it happened.
Coach, is there any specific position you feel like for the 2020 season you'd like to address, maybe a grad transfer, anything along those lines?
As we had before the game, like I said, we have about 3 left, and so we're gonna look and see. Last year we brought 6 grad transfers in. This year, potentially we're looking at maybe one spot for that. Offensive tackle is a need. Kai Beckton's, a guy who's just came out as a junior, who's going to be, a high draft pick. So, try to fill a void there up front at tackle. I feel pretty good about the inside guys, but, I think for us, linebacker, inside linebacker, offensive tackle are two spots that we still need to address.
You went and found Coach Nicholson. What did you like about him, and
Yeah.
why did you want to come here?
Yeah, first of all, a lot of good recommendations. Obviously, for me, I'm not looking for X and O guys. I'm looking for character. I'm looking for guys that are going to fit within our staff. He's very energetic, very outgoing. Is known as a great recruiter. He's been at a place where he's working for the same head coach, and he's been elevated throughout his tenure there. So that means they respect him, and I think. He knows his conference, having played at Florida State. He knows the kind of player that we need to try to get to compete for championships. I think for all those reasons, I think he was just a great fit for us and our staff. Ironically, he was here in 2014, as a young coach. And so I just think for all those reasons, I think he's a great fit for us. I think he's an up-and-comer, kind of a guy that'll rise in this profession. And we're very excited to get him here. This is, it's only been, 3 or 4 days on the job now.
How many of the guys you signed have started?
There's a couple more that are going to be coming in February, but I think right now we got 14 guys, which is tremendous. You signed 25 and 14 are here in January. There's a couple things that's awesome about that. The first thing is, as a freshman, I think about it as a dad, when I want to send my kid, in January, that's the middle of the semester, that's tough, but there's 14 of them, so they're all together, they're kind of in their own group, they're going to class together, they're working out together, eating together, so they're very similar because they're facing the same things right now, and a lot of they're walking around, they're like big-eyed, and they're trying to figure everything out right now. But tremendous to have them here. They're going through workouts. They'll be able to go through spring practice. They'll get a leg up. We'll be able to utilize these guys in the fall. So a lot of these guys will play for us as we head throughout the season. So we're excited about it. That's the most guys I've ever been a part of having in January, and it seems like this is a little bit of a trend now for these guys that are graduating early. We're excited about this class we signed. The average GPA of this class was above a 3.0 coming in, so we're not only signing good football players, but guys where academics are important to them. We want to sign that. That's what we're targeting because we feel like those guys can learn your scheme so much faster. And it just speaks to the volume of their character because school's important to them. And so, we're excited about that. And these guys have hit the ground running. They've done a great job so far. These guys are gaining weight already. They're getting stronger already within the first 2 weeks.
Coach, when you go on the road now after a season like you had, is the perception different than it was this time last year?
Yeah, it's been awesome. The last week and a half that I've been out, we got one more week of recruiting, and from not only the high school coaches and what we're seeing within the schools, but really when you bump into another colleague, from another college, these guys are very, because coaches know, these coaches know, and they're very respectful for what we were able to accomplish last year. And man, it just very appreciative of all that because it just shows what our staff, what they're made of, what our players are made of, what they're able to accomplish. That nobody gave us a chance to win 8, really in close to that, and. So that's been great. And so now when you go into these high schools, again, it's the same thing. You're not selling a dream. You got something tangible. We won 8 games. We won a bowl game. You finished second on your side. We beat the team that won the other side in the ACC. So all these things you're able to talk about. And so it just piques the interest of these recruits so much more. And so now that's why we're able to get over 50 up here for this day, this big day for us. So that part of it's been awesome, outstanding, and looking forward to getting back out again this week.
What did you learn about yourself as a coach going against teams like Clemson and moving up to the ACC?
Yeah. Well, I've said this for many, many years. It's only 11 guys out there. So many people try to complicate things. There's 11 football players, and you just got to get your guys playing at a high level. I think for us, it just shows we belong. what we were able to do. I think, we competed at the highest level and competed very well. A lot of things we did this year we hit milestones. Winning our first conference game in a while, that was awesome to beat Boston College, and then going on the road and beating a ranked team like Wake Forest. Hanging tough with Clemson for a half, and Notre Dame for a little bit. I mean, I just think that all those things give us a little bit of confidence, and I think that you take all that and you put that in this off season right now. So now we're working for a purpose. I mean, these guys are working to compete for this championship, and that's what we're striving to do. We got a long ways to go. We're nowhere near there yet, but we know that we can see it. We can see where we need to get to, and so that's encouraging. That's exciting. To wake up every day to know that you're coming in and working for that opportunity.
When you go from selling a dream to a tangible success, are there certain kinds of players who respond or who start to respond who would have ignored you last year?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it has to do with confidence. It's just gaining a little bit of confidence, and that's for any of us. I think it doesn't matter what profession you're in. If you're doing your job, and then all of a sudden, okay, you're doing something else pretty good. It's like you guys, you write a pretty good article, and everybody's like, man, that's a pretty good article. That just gives you a little bit of confidence to go out and write the next one. It's the same thing as football. These guys get a little bit of confidence, and for example, like a Marshawn Ford, who last year this time was just a guy, and we put him on the leadership council last spring, and he's probably wondering, why'd y'all put me on the leadership council? Because he didn't have much confidence. He's just a freshman. Well, after the season he had, phenomenal year. Now he's back on that leadership council again this offseason. Man, he is way different place. He's thinking, man, okay, now I'm a leader now. Let me try to lead this team, and because he's got a little bit of confidence. And he's just one example. There's many of the guys. I mean, you can just look at Cunningham, the way he progressed throughout the season from the early in the year to where he was at the bowl game, for example. A tremendous scale upward of playing at a high level, and all that is confidence, knowledge about what we're trying to do. All those things go hand in hand.
What about, from a recruiting standpoint?
Yeah.
There are doors that are opening, players with either a higher profile or with alternatives that might not be considered to be.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, and that was really hard last spring and fall and summer to recruit these guys when you hadn't won an ACC game, and all we could do was say what we had done at App State. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear, well, what have you done at this level? And so now we can go show them that. And so now, there's no question. So now these recruits are smart. They do their research. They're asking around. They're all right. How's Coach Sat? Tell me a little bit about him from other people. And that, and so all the things that we're trying to do, it all helps us. And so we're able to talk to a higher profile guy, a guy who's getting recruited by some of the best schools in the country, and we're right there with them, and we're talking to them. Will we get them? That remains to be seen, but I think we'll get our share. I think we'll get the kind of players that we'll all be proud of to come into this program. And for us, we're still looking for fit. Like as a player, I don't care if they've got 75 offers. They may only have 5 offers, but if they fit exactly what we need, then that's what we're going to go after, and the right kind of player, because those guys can produce. A lot of these guys, some of these guys, Marshawn Ford had to walk on. Well, he led ACC in touchdown catches. So there's some guys out there that can play that maybe don't have a lot of offers. So they're still looking for the top ones. Yep. Yeah.
How important, you had a bunch of walk-ons
Yeah.
here, how important are they to build the program?
It's huge for us. Like I call those guys the glue. They're like the glue of your program. And so we had a big walk-on day last Monday, and a lot of these guys are coming. They're coming to play for us, and a lot of these guys had offers. I mean, these guys had some scholarship offers to D2 or Group of 5, and they're still choosing to come play for us because they know they're going to have an opportunity. We've put 6 guys on scholarship last year that were walk-on guys, and so and a lot of them played, and so that hasn't changed. And so we want this program to be a place where maybe you didn't get recruited at the level you wanted to get recruited at, and you got an opportunity to come in here and play. And it's not lip service. Again, these guys are getting opportunities. So I encourage the guys to come walk on. We want these guys to come walk on because they will have a chance to play, and they're the glue because they work their tails off. They work with a chip on their shoulder every single day, and so you want that within your program. And that was one of the things that we did at App, I thought was unbelievable, because those guys, maybe a really talented guy right here, if he sees this kid who's getting no money, that's going to show up every day at 6 a.m. and does everything right, work his tail off, what are you doing, right? And so I just think that goes hand in hand. It just helps your program.
What is this environment today? You mentioned all the recruits.
Yeah.
What is this environment, how much does it help?
Oh man, we're selling it. Like, so out this whole week, we're out talking to guys and coaches to say, listen, we get these recruits on campus and we're going to see a basketball game at the Yum Center on Saturday. It's going to be phenomenal. Our basketball team is really, really good. You're going to love this atmosphere. This is just part of our athletic family. Come look at it. Come be a part of this. And it all goes hand in hand. And I think it should be a great game today. It'll be a great atmosphere. We get to hang out, just hanging out with these guys, and so they just get to see the camaraderie that we have with them, and we do with our basketball team. I think all our teams here, man. That's one thing I didn't know when I got here, of how good the rest of the athletics teams are here at University of Louisville. It's phenomenal. You think about men's and women's basketball, what they're doing right now. You think about swimming. You think about baseball, who's getting number one in the country coming up. So all these sports are phenomenal for me, and we're proud of that. We're proud to be a part of that. All right, thank you guys.